Hi guys, my name is Nonima Digela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the Section 204, okay? I want us to talk about that Section 204 witness situation when it comes to Gwabini. Before we do that, guys, please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end, and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you will be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Happy birthday to me. Today it's my 40th birthday. Very excited. You see. My girl is growing. Anyway, now let's focus on this. We're always working, whether it's the birthday or not. There's no time. There's no time. So let's talk about the fake Section 204 witness, how the state tried to rewrite the law in an open court, thereby the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Every criminal trial has a moment where facts stop mattering and language becomes a weapon. Not evidence, not law, labels. And today, in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, the state has crossed a line so dangerous, so legally dishonest, that if it is allowed to stand, it will echo far beyond that courtroom of Judge Rata. Because the prosecution is calling Gwabini a Section 204 witness, and that is not just wrong, it is legally impossible. Okay, let's slow down. Let's strip the noise. Let's go back to law. Because when you do, the state's entire argument detonates. What Section 204 really is, not what the state wants it to be. Let's get into that. Section 204 of the Criminal Procedure Act is not a vibe, is not an insult, it's not a strategy. It's a very specific legal mechanism. A Section 204 witness is someone who was formally charged with the same crime, appeared as an accused, faces real criminal liability, testified for the state or testifies for the state in exchange for possible indemnity. No charge, no doc, no risk, no Section 204. That is exactly what a Section 204 is. And the last part, no charge, no doc, no risk, no Section 204 is exactly what Gwabini is right now. Okay? This is not controversial. This is black law, black letter law. That is what it is. And the question that blows up the state, so here is the only question that matters. Was Gwabini ever charged in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case? The answer is devastatingly simple. No, not arrested for the Senzo Meyiwa case, not indicted for the Senzo Meyiwa case, not accused number 6, not withdrawn, not pending, not hidden. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Gwabini has never stood in the dock as an accused for the Senzo Meyiwa matter. There is no charge sheet, there is no indictment, there is no Section 204, no 204 application on record, because they have not brought that, any of that in front. So legally, procedurally, constitutionally, Gwabini cannot be a Section 204 witness, full stop. Ubaloyi must not come with his dirty tricks and try to trick the entire situation, and also try to intimidate Gwabini as a witness in that. Ubaloyi needs to answer for all of that shindig, because that is not right. We'll do a certain video on that alone. So now we ask the next question. If he is not a 204 witness, why is the state calling him one? Let's get into that. Because the state is not arguing law. The state is manufacturing perception. Calling Gwabini a Section 204 witness does 3 things in the entire situation. 1, it criminalizes him without a charge. By calling him 204, the state whispers to the court, this man is dirty, this man is saving himself, this man is bargaining with the truth. But you don't get to imply criminality without charging someone. That violates fair trial rights, presumption of innocence, basic prosecutorial ethics. This is a trial by label. Second thing that they are doing, it poisons his credibility without evidence. A 204 witness is treated with suspicion. That's the whole point. So instead of disproving Gwabini's testimony, instead of confronting the contradiction he exposes, the state tries to downgrade him by branding. That's what they are doing to him. That is not cross-examination. That is character assassination by misclassification. What they are doing there is unfair. The third thing that it does, it protects a collapsing state narrative because Gwabini's version contradicts Brigadier Gininda, it contradicts Constable Zungu, it undermines the alleged meeting, it exposes timeline manipulation, it weakens the so-called breakthrough. So the state does not destroy the evidence, it relabels the witness, which is Ugwabini, which I believe constitutionally, this is wrong. This is wrong in all levels of being wrong. Number 4, what we need to check on, the part that we really need to, the elephant in the room, the Kelly Khumalo elephant in the room. Let's talk about the contradiction that no one wants to touch. For years, the public was told Kelly Khumalo was the mastermind. Kelly Khumalo was central. Kelly Khumalo was suspicious. And yet, she was never charged, never indicted, never made a 204 witness. So let that sink in. A person present at the murder was never charged, but a person not accused of the murder is suddenly a Section 204 witness. That is not law. That is not law. That is selective narrative engineering, which is exactly what Gininda is excellent on. That's where he specializes in, Gininda, Nobaloy, because that's what we see in the Senzo Meyiwa case. What the state is really doing, this is not about Gwabini. This is about control. They see, sorry, I'm very sorry. They see that they have lost control. Now, control of the narrative, the credibility map, the court's emotional framing, everything. By falsely invoking Section 204, the state is trying to smuggle prejudice into the record, lower the defense witness weight, avoid answering fatal contradictions. And if the record accepts this lie, then the court itself becomes part of the distortion, because we have a problem here, distortion. And why is this a constitutional problem? This is not a small mistake. If allowed, it means witnesses can be criminalized without charges. Labels can replace proof. Prosecutors can invent legal statuses. Court can rely on false premises. That destroys the Section 205 fair trial rights, the adversarial system, judicial neutrality. This is how trials rot from the inside. That is exactly what it is. And finally, what matters when the final verdict of the entire situation, let's say it clearly, let's say it slowly, let's say it for the record, Gwabini is not a Section 204 witness. He was never charged. He was no indemnity. There is no legal basis for the label. Calling him 204 is not advocacy. It's legal fiction. And fiction has no place in a murder trial. The Senzo Meyiwa trial is no longer just about who pulled the trigger. It is about whether the law itself will bend, rebranded, and weaponized to save a collapsing case. Because once court allows false labels to replace legal truth, justice is no longer blind. It's managed, and history will remember who spoke law and who spoke propaganda. That is exactly what is happening on the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial right now. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Please stick around and make sure that you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, let's have a discussion on the comment section. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.